Hey guys, welcome back to the Daily Iowan TV Sports Studio. We have a lot to get to today, so let's get started. Most of Iowa City is still basking in the 27-21 victory over the Cyclones on Saturday night. Our own Jordan Cabielas was at the game on the call for KRUI. Jordan, Mark Wiseman has been the talk of the town about what he's accomplished thus far, but how important has the play of the offensive line been?
Extremely important. It's not just Mark Wiseman here. I mean, it's everybody. That line is creating the space for Wiseman. We have Iowa as a team is rushing for about 239 yards per game, and Mark Wiseman for about 143 of those. But it's there are other things too. The holes that they're creating, not just for Wiseman, but for Jordan Canzeri and the other three, running backs on that team, and even Jake Rudock himself. They've done a good job of protecting him. Only 4 sacks given up so far through 3 games.
And Cavante Martin-Manley, he's really emerged this year as a player. What has made the difference?
I think another year under Greg Davis's system has really helped. And, I mean, there isn't another receiver. We saw it. We had Keenan Davis last year was supposed to be that guy, the step-up guy. That didn't really happen. But you could tell that Cavante Martin-Manley had the talent that was going to lead to something like this. He's accounted for roughly 50+% of the receptions on Iowa this year. He's got 163 total yards with a touchdown that he got on Saturday.
And lastly, Iowa has been struggling defensively during the fourth quarter. Why is this?
I'm not really sure there is a good answer for it. They've given up 65 total points as a defense during a game, but 58.5% of those points have come in the fourth quarter. 38 points to be exact. And I don't know if it's a matter of they've had a lead going into the fourth quarter of all 3 of these games. Now, they lost to Northern Illinois, and then they won the last 2. They gave up 10 points in the fourth to Northern Illinois, and then 14 in the last 2 games. I don't know if it's a matter of just taking the foot off the gas or what it is, but Kirk Ferentz seems to like to play close games, and at some point, you can't allow that other team to get back into it.
Okay, well, thank you, Jordan. Hope for a win this weekend. That loss over the Cyclones or some other Hawkeye sports in action over the past weekend. Don't worry, though, we have you covered in this weekend's Whip Around. Guys?
Thanks, Alyssa, and welcome to Monday evening's edition of the Whip Around. I'm Danny Payne reporting here from Grant Field, where this weekend the number 8 Hawkeyes hosted a pair of matches. Friday, they defeated Central Michigan by a score of 7-1, with Steph Norlander, Natalie Cafone, and Sarah Watro all posting 2 goals in the contest. Yesterday, however, the Hawkeyes were defeated by number 10 Stanford by a score of 2-0. Head coach Tracy Grisbaum after the game said, quote, "It was absolutely the worst game we've had yet this season." Now, for more on Hawkeye soccer, let's send it over to Jalen Socek, who's standing by. Jalen?
Thanks, Danny. Wins keep coming for the Iowa women's soccer team, who just beat out St. Louis 3-2 this past Friday, marking their 7th straight victory this season. Junior Melanie Pickard had a big moment for the Hawks, scoring the first goal from 40 yards out, her 3rd goal of the season. And now we'll toss it over to Taylor Axelson, who has the latest on the women's volleyball team. Taylor?
Thanks, Jalen. The University of Iowa volleyball team ended up getting 2nd place this past weekend at the Hawkeye Challenge. Tomorrow night, they'll be playing the Milwaukee Panthers in Milwaukee. And then this weekend, their big game coming up against the in-state rivals, they'll be playing Iowa State right here at Carver Hawkeye Arena. That's it for your Monday Night Whip Around. Alyssa, back to you in the studio.
Thanks for that, guys. But before we leave you tonight, let's take a quick look at the updated AP Top 25 rankings released yesterday. Alabama and Oregon again numbers 1 and 2 in the rankings, with Clemson and Ohio State staying at 3 and 4 respectively. Texas A&M falls to number 10 after that shootout loss to Alabama, while LSU replaces them at number 6. Also moving up in the top 10 is Florida State, who moved from 10 to 8. Not a great weekend for the other Big Ten schools in the top 25. Michigan dropped to number 15 after struggling with Akron. Northern slid to number 18, replaced by Washington at number 17. Wisconsin fell to number 24 after falling to Arizona State down in the desert on a controversial call in the final seconds. And Nebraska dropped out of the top 25 after allowing 38 unanswered points to UCLA to lose 41-21. That's all for now in sports. Tune in tomorrow for our weekly coverage of Kirk Ferentz's press conference as the team prepares to face Western Michigan. Back to you guys at the desk.